Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Gateway. I'm so happy to see you here for day 3 of our English speaking challenge. I hope you've been practicing every day because today's lesson is going to be both exciting and practical. Today, we're going to talk about something that everyone enjoys discussing, our hobbies and interests. Whether you love reading books, playing sports, cooking delicious meals, listening to music, or exploring new places, your hobbies tell people a lot about who you are. Learning to speak about your hobbies in English is one of the easiest ways to start natural conversations. It helps you express yourself with confidence and makes your English sound more real and personal. By the end of today's lesson, you'll know exactly how to introduce your hobbies, explain why you enjoy them, and keep a conversation flowing naturally. So if you're ready to improve your spoken English, let's begin. Why is it important to talk about hobbies? Let's start with a simple question. Why do people often ask about hobbies? Think about the last time you met someone new. One of the first questions they probably asked was, "What do you like to do in your free time?" That's because hobbies are one of the easiest ways to get to know someone. Your hobbies are much more than activities you do after work or school. They reflect your personality, your interests, and sometimes even your dreams. When you talk about something you genuinely enjoy, your voice becomes more energetic, your confidence increases, and the conversation feels natural. Imagine you're attending a party, joining an online meeting, or meeting someone for the first time. At first, you may feel nervous about speaking English, but then someone asks, "So what do you enjoy doing in your free time?" Suddenly, you have something comfortable to talk about. Since you're speaking about something you already know and love, finding the right words becomes much easier. Maybe you enjoy photography. Maybe you're passionate about football. Maybe you spend hours reading novels or watching documentaries. Whatever your hobby is, it gives you endless opportunities to speak confidently. Even better, hobbies often help people discover common interests. For example, if you tell someone that you love painting and they also enjoy painting, you've instantly found something to connect over. That simple conversation can turn into a long discussion, a new friendship, or even a valuable professional relationship. That's why learning to talk about hobbies is such an important communication skill. It doesn't just improve your English. It helps you build meaningful conversations with people from different cultures and backgrounds. And remember, you don't need difficult vocabulary to make your hobby sound interesting. Simple English, clear sentences, and genuine enthusiasm are more than enough. As we continue today's lesson, you'll learn an easy method to describe your hobbies naturally, share personal experiences, and ask engaging questions that keep every conversation going. How to talk about your hobbies in English. Now that you understand why hobbies are such a great conversation starter, let's learn how to talk about them confidently in English. The good news is that it's much easier than most people think. You don't need advanced vocabulary or long, complicated sentences. All you need is a simple, 3-step method that helps you express your thoughts naturally. Let's break it down. Step 1. Mention your hobby. Start by telling the other person what you enjoy doing. You can use simple sentences like, "I enjoy reading books. I love cooking. My favorite hobby is playing football. I really like photography." Keep it simple and clear. Step 2. Explain why you enjoy it. After mentioning your hobby, explain what makes it special for you. Ask yourself questions like, why do I enjoy it? How does it make me feel? What do I learn from it? For example, I enjoy reading because it helps me relax after a busy day. Or, I love playing football because it keeps me active and lets me spend time with my friends. Adding a reason makes your answer more interesting and personal. Step 3. Share a small story. Finally, make your conversation memorable by sharing a short experience. It doesn't have to be a big story. Even one simple sentence can make a huge difference. Here's an example. You. I love baking because it helps me relax after work. Friend. Really? What do you usually bake? You. I enjoy making cakes and cookies. Last weekend, I baked a chocolate cake for my sister's birthday and everyone loved it. See how natural that sounds? You first mentioned your hobby, then explained why you enjoy it, and finally shared a personal experience. This simple formula makes conversations flow smoothly. Different hobbies you can talk about. The wonderful thing about hobbies is that everyone has something they enjoy. Let's look at a few examples that you can use in real conversations. Gardening. I recently started gardening, and it's quickly become one of my favorite hobbies. I enjoy growing flowers and fresh vegetables because it feels rewarding to watch them grow. Last week, I picked my first tomatoes, and they tasted much better than the ones from the supermarket. Playing the guitar. I've been learning to play the guitar for the past few months. I practice a little every evening, and I'm improving day by day. Recently, I learned how to play one of my favorite songs, and it made me feel incredibly proud. Running. Running is one of my favorite hobbies, especially early in the morning. It gives me energy, clears my mind, and helps me stay healthy. Last weekend, I completed my first 5-kilometer race, and crossing the finish line felt amazing. Painting. Painting allows me to express my creativity. I enjoy experimenting with different colors and creating beautiful artwork whenever I have free time. Every new painting teaches me something different and helps me become more creative. No matter what your hobby is, don't just mention its name. Talk about why it matters too. You share your excitement. Describe how it makes you feel. People connect with emotions much more than simple facts. Keep the conversation going. A good conversation isn't just about talking, it's also about listening. Once you've shared your hobby, ask the other person about theirs. For example, I really enjoy reading mystery novels because I love trying to solve the mystery before the ending. Friend, that sounds interesting. What about you? Do you enjoy reading or do you have a different hobby? Friend, yes, I enjoy fantasy books because they take me into completely different worlds. Notice how the conversation continues naturally? Instead of speaking only about yourself, you invite the other person to participate. That's how meaningful conversations begin. The more questions you ask, the more confident you'll become in speaking English. And remember, confidence doesn't come from using difficult words. It comes from speaking naturally, listening carefully, and enjoying the conversation. The benefits of talking about your hobbies. Now that you know how to describe your hobbies, let's explore something even more important. Have you ever noticed how people become more energetic when they talk about something they truly love? That's because hobbies create an emotional connection. When you speak about something you're passionate about, your excitement becomes visible. Your smile, your voice, and even your body language change. People don't just hear your words, they feel your enthusiasm. That's exactly what makes conversations memorable. For example, someone who enjoys running may say they started simply to stay healthy, but after a few months, they realized it became much more than exercise. Running became their way of reducing stress, clearing their mind, and finding peace after a busy day. Now, every morning run isn't just about fitness. It's about feeling refreshed, confident, and ready to face new challenges. When you explain your hobby this way, people don't only learn what you do, they understand why it matters to you. That's what creates deeper conversations. Share the story behind your hobby. Every hobby has a story. Sometimes we start a hobby because we're curious. Sometimes a friend introduces us to it. And sometimes life itself leads us towards something new. Think about your own hobby. When did you first start? Why did you continue? How has it changed your life? These are powerful questions that make your conversation much more interesting. For example, I've always enjoyed painting, but during one of the most stressful periods of my life, it became my way of relaxing. Every time I picked up a paintbrush, I forgot about my worries and focused only on creating something beautiful. Notice the difference. Instead of simply saying, I like painting, you're sharing a personal experience. People remember stories far more than simple facts. Your personal experiences make your English sound natural, authentic, and engaging. How hobbies grow over time. One fascinating thing about hobbies is that they continue to evolve. Most people don't become experts overnight. Everything starts with one small step. Maybe you baked your first cake just for fun. Maybe you bought a guitar because you wanted to try something different. Maybe you started reading one book during your holidays. As time passed, those small activities became important parts of your life. That's another great topic to discuss in English conversations. For example, when I first started learning the guitar, I only knew a few basic chords. I practiced a little, every day, and now I can play complete songs for my family and friends. Or, I started baking during my school holidays, but today I enjoy trying new recipes every weekend. I'm even thinking about turning this hobby into a small business someday. Talking about your progress makes your conversation more inspiring because it shows dedication, consistency, and personal growth. Hobbies help you learn new skills. Many people believe hobbies are only for entertainment, but that's not true. Every hobby teaches us something valuable. Whether you're learning photography, cooking, gardening, drawing, coding, or playing chess, you're developing new skills every time you practice. For example, gardening teaches patience, photography improves observation, cooking develops creativity, chess strengthens strategic thinking. Learning a musical instrument builds discipline and focus. When talking about your hobbies, don't forget to mention what you've learned. For example, I've been playing chess for several years, and it has taught me to stay patient and think carefully before making decisions. Those lessons have helped me not only in games, but also in everyday life. Statements like these make your English sound mature and meaningful. You're no longer talking only about your hobby. You're talking about personal development. Sharing hobbies brings people together. One of the greatest things about hobbies is that they're often shared with others. Think about it. Playing football with friends, joining a photography club, reading books with a discussion group, cooking dinner together with your family. These experiences create lasting memories. For example, I enjoy hiking by myself, but it's even more exciting when my friends join me. Last weekend, I invited one of my classmates to my favorite hiking trail, and we spent the whole morning exploring nature together. Now we're already planning our next adventure. Stories like this show that hobbies aren't only personal activities. There are also opportunities to build friendships and strengthen relationships. Sometimes a simple hobby introduces you to people who become lifelong friends. Turning a hobby into a passion. For some people, hobbies remain enjoyable free time activities. For others, they become lifelong passions. In fact, many successful careers begin as simple hobbies. Someone may start making videos for fun and later become a full-time content creator. Another person may enjoy baking at home before opening their own bakery. Others may discover careers in photography, music, writing, or design simply because they followed what they loved. For example, I started baking just because I enjoyed making desserts for my family. Over time, I became more confident, experimented with new recipes, and now I'm thinking about opening my own bakery in the future. When you talk about your dreams connected to your hobby, people become inspired, your passion becomes contagious, and your conversation becomes unforgettable. What your hobbies say about your personality. Have you ever thought about what your hobbies reveal about you? Believe it or not, the activities we enjoy often reflect our personality, values, and the way we see the world. For example, someone who enjoys writing may be thoughtful and creative. A person who loves team sports might be energetic, competitive, and enjoy working with others. Someone who spends time reading books may be curious and always eager to learn something new. That's why talking about your hobbies isn't just about explaining what you do in your free time. It's also about giving people a better understanding of who you are. For example, you could say, I enjoy photography because I love noticing the little details that many people don't see. Every picture tells a story, and capturing those moments makes me happy. Or I enjoy volunteering because helping other people gives me a sense of purpose and satisfaction. Now imagine asking the other person the same question. What do you think your hobbies say about your personality? Questions like these make conversations more meaningful and encourage people to share their own experiences. Instead of a short conversation, you create a real connection. How hobbies help you relax. Life can sometimes become stressful. Between work, studies, responsibilities, and daily routines, everyone needs a way to relax. That's where hobbies become incredibly important. They give us time to slow down, recharge our energy, and focus on something we genuinely enjoy. Some people paint. Others listen to music. Many enjoy cooking, gardening, cycling, or simply reading a good book. Whatever the activity may be, hobbies help us escape from daily pressure for a little while. For example, whenever I feel stressed, I spend some time drawing or painting. It helps me clear my mind and focus on something positive. By the time I finish, I always feel calmer and more relaxed. Another person might say, whenever I play football with my friends, I forget all my worries and simply enjoy the game. Sharing these personal experiences makes your English sound more natural because you're speaking from your heart. And remember, people often relate to emotions more than perfect grammar. Day 3, Speaking Challenge. Now it's your turn. Let's put today's lesson into practice. Here's your Day 3 challenge. Challenge 1. Write a short conversation about one of your favorite hobbies. Remember to include these 3 points. Mention your hobby. Explain why you enjoy it. Share a short personal story or experience. Challenge 2. Record yourself speaking for 1 or 2 minutes. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Every mistake is another step toward becoming a confident English speaker. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Challenge 3. Share your favorite hobby in the comments below. Tell us why you enjoy it and what makes it special. I always enjoy reading your comments because every student has a unique story to share. Who knows? You might even find someone who has the same hobby as you. Make your conversation more fun. Conversations become even more interesting when you add a little humor. Let's look at a fun example. One of my favorite hobbies is collecting funny socks. Friend. Really? That's unusual. Absolutely. I have socks with cats, pizza slices, astronauts, dinosaurs, and even dancing bananas. Friend. That's hilarious. Do you actually wear them? Of course, life is too short to wear boring socks. See how a small funny detail makes the conversation more enjoyable? People love stories that make them smile. So don't be afraid to include little moments that show your personality. Day 3. Wrap up. Fantastic work. Today you've learned how to talk about your hobbies confidently in English. You discovered why hobbies make conversations easier, how to explain them naturally, how to tell personal stories, and how to ask questions that keep discussions flowing. These are real-life communication skills that you'll use in everyday conversations, interviews, classrooms, workplaces, and while meeting new people. The more you practice speaking about familiar topics, the more confident your English will become. Remember, fluency isn't about using difficult vocabulary. It's about expressing your ideas clearly and confidently. So keep practicing, keep speaking, and most importantly, enjoy the learning process. See you in Day 4. Tomorrow, we'll continue our English speaking challenge with another exciting topic that will help you become an even more confident English speaker. You won't want to miss it. If you enjoyed today's lesson, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to English Gateway so you never miss a new lesson. Also, turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when Day 4 is uploaded. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Today, I truly appreciate your support and your dedication to improving your English. Keep believing in yourself. Practice every single day. Small improvements lead to big results. I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, stay positive, stay confident, keep learning, and as always, keep speaking, keep growing, keep moving forward with English Gateway.